Hi there, this is Nick Devine, founder of The Print Coach and developer of the Elephant Hunting System, and welcome to this video. What we're going to talk about in this video is differentiation, what I call the difference maker. So how do you differentiate what you do from the competition? And that comes down to one fundamentally important question in your business. So if I am your ideal prospect, why should I buy from you versus the competition, or actually not buy it at all? And that's what your difference maker is supposed to answer. Because if you can't answer that question, here's what happens. Our marketplace at the moment has got excess capacity. Everybody knows that. And most of the competition in your marketplace, they don't know how to sell and market themselves effectively. So what they end up doing a lot of the time is they end up putting in suicidal pricing with unsustainable profit margins, and the profitability of the overall industry, and probably in your printing company, is getting killed. So if you are the buyer, and I'm the seller, so I'm the printing company, and you as the buyer are looking at the marketplace, and you're seeing a whole bunch of providers. Essentially they're the same. The shapes might be slightly different, but essentially they're all the same. You can either look like these pieces on the board, or you can come in and look completely different. This is about differentiation. That's about offering a great product. And the ultimate thing you've got to do, thanks Kate, the ultimate thing we have to do as an industry, not just for your particular company, is you've got to figure out how do you differentiate what you do and communicate the impact you make in the lives of your clients. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So let's get stuck into that now. We all know there's no shortage of printers waiting in line to give quotes to your prospects and customers in the current marketplace. And as I said a minute ago, many of them are going to put in suicidal pricing in a desperate attempt to keep the presses busy. You can no longer afford to play a game like that like your competitors, because you'll just print your way out of business. In today's marketplace, you have to find a way to stand out and create value for your customers, not just deliver print to them. And that means you have to answer one critically important question. It's the question I mentioned a second ago. That is, if I am your ideal client, why should I buy from you versus the competition, or not buy at all? You have to have a compelling, critically irresistible answer to that important question. If you don't have that, you end up just being a commodity printer competing on price with everybody else in the marketplace. So that's not an easy question to answer. Many people find that a really challenging question to answer. So I'm going to give you a couple of ways you can come up with an answer for that, so you get started on that process, at least in this short video. One of the best ways to approach this is look at your portfolio of clients and pick, maybe 5 clients where you've got good relationships with, and you add value to what your client is doing. So you make an impact in your client's business. So pull out those, whatever it is, let's say 5 clients, and then ask yourself this question: what impact am I having on their business? What difference am I really making to them? And think in the context of the things they're trying to achieve in their business. Are you helping them achieve better results, do things that improve customer activity, get new customers, reactivate customers, drive traffic to events, whatever it is? What impact are you actually making in their business? Now, if you want to take that up another level, look at that impact and say, is there a way I could measure the difference I made? Let's take something really simple. Let's say you did a personalized marketing campaign, and their previous return on investment, so their response rates was 4%, and you took it to 5%. So you could say you increased the response rate from 4 to 5%, which would be a 25% increase going from 4 to 5. That's how you would measure that impact. If you put in a web-to-print system and you save them X amount of hours or time on the marketing logistics, that's the way you would measure that. So if you can measure the impact, then you will double the power. I'm not saying it's specifically double, but you will significantly increase the power of the proposition that you're putting into your marketplace. So sometimes when you're going through this process, you'll come up with answers that fall into one of these 4 areas. I call them the better sameness areas. So it may be that you've improved the quality of what they're doing over and above what they were getting from their existing supplier. It may be that you've improved the service over and above what they were getting from an existing supplier. It may be that you've given them competitive pricing, so not being the cheapest, but you've helped them one way or another to save money on the projects you're doing with them. And it may be that you've been more robust in terms of delivery, so getting things there on time and in full. Now, when you go through that exercise, you will typically come up with some things in these 4 areas. So I call them better sameness. The reason I call them better sameness is we end up competing on the same value points, so service, quality, delivery and pricing, as our competition, but we claim we are better in those value points than our competition. So we end up with the better sameness conversation. I'm saying I'm better than the competition, they're saying they're better than me, and we end up again competing on price. So that's important, but that's not enough. So you look for measurable impact that you made. Here's some other areas you can look at. Think about ways you could package your products and services for a specific client issues that you're trying to deal with. So we do that with things like our elephant hunting system as an example of how we do that. Think about the job the client's trying to get done. This is not the print job, but this is a job the client's trying to get done. So if they're a marketing manager, are they trying to acquire new customers? Are they trying to sell products into their existing customers? Are they trying to reactivate lapsed customers? So what's the job the client's trying to get done, and can you help them get that job done faster, easier, taking into account the whole product cost, which we'll talk about in a future video. You've not heard me talk about level 3 benefits before, but the kind of shortcut to this is a level 3 benefit is a benefit that's specific to the client situation. A level 2 benefit is a generic. So if we might say air conditioning in a car keeps you cool is a generic benefit. If you're a road warrior and you spend a lot of time traveling up and down motorways going to see clients, air conditioning ensures you arrive feeling refreshed and cool at a meeting instead of having your shirt stuck to your back and perspiration. So it's a level 3 benefit specific to the client situation the client's dealing with. Another thing you can look at is value differentiation. So is the way you've packaged your products and services, is that something that you can do, only you can do it, the client couldn't do it themselves in-house, and the competition also couldn't lay claim to they being able to do it. So there's something about you, the way you've packaged it, that makes it unique and it creates value differentiation. And then the 5th area to think about is, are you focusing on business units? We spoke about that in the first video in this series, where you're impacting customer type activity in your client organization. Now, you've heard me talk about IPEX before. That's obviously coming up pretty shortly. They're doing something unique. Obviously it's Excel this year, and I don't know how well you know Excel, but there's a thoroughfare in Excel that goes through the heart of the exhibition area, and IPEX are setting this out in what they call Inspiration and Avenue, and what they'll show you is kind of the art and science of print as it's deployed in client situations, looking at a myriad of different things, looking at pearls, QR codes, digital, augmented reality, a lot of these areas that people are interested in, and they're going to show you it from the deployed perspective and also going to show it to you from the briefs and benefits to the clients, looking at briefs, execution, outcomes, etc. So I think that's going to be really interesting. So right down the heart of the main thoroughfare of Excel. I think that's going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing that myself. We'll obviously be running master classes at the IPEX in the Excel Centre, so look out for those. I think we're doing them on something like the 26th, 27th, I think, at the current dates. If you want to get the handout for the content we just covered, we prepared a one-page PDF handout. You could be watching this video in a range of different places. So if you look at the URL at the bottom of the screen, theprintcoach.com/4, if you go to that URL, you'll come to a page, certainly where the video is hosted. And what I'm particularly interested in, obviously, just complete your details on the right-hand side. Where it says video comment, I'm interested in 2 things. The biggest insight or takeaway you got from the video, so want to make sure understand what messages people are taking from the content we're delivering. And if you've got any question at all about value propositions and value proposition development, let us know what that is, because I might be able to put together some more videos in that area to help you going forward. So those 2 things. This is obviously one of a series of 10 in the run-up to IPEX. So have a absolutely fantastic day, a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.